Now on CoastTV News.
A parking violation in Ocean City could double how much fines are increasing.
No water over the weekend, why some in Lewis and the neighborhood say the problem should have been fixed faster.
Cold weather continues on the coast, how people are keeping busy despite Mother Nature's chill.
Temperatures finally cracked the freezing mark for a lot of us today. That will be the trend as we go through the next several days. A couple of snow chances with Alberta Clippers with minor accumulations. I'll have details on that and tracking on Futurecast coming up.
This is CoastTV News at 5.
Keeping track of time when you park in Ocean City. Good evening. I'm Madeline Overturf.
And I'm Charlie Sakaitis. We begin tonight with the Ocean City Council discussing an increase in the parking meter fines during specific special events in town.
Big events in Ocean City, they bring thousands of people to the coast, but they also cause limited parking and really busy streets. Coast TV News reporter Kevin Zappe, live in OC. Kevin, the town will discuss tonight whether or not to increase parking meter fines during those special events.
Maddie, if you were to pay for only 1 hour parking before going to, let's say, Ocean's Calling, and then you come back 2 hours later, you'll most likely find a ticket on the hood of your car. And that ticket right now would be $50. But the Ocean City Council will be discussing tonight whether or not to double that fine. Driving your car and finding a parking spot. That may be a simple task now, but during special events in Ocean City, finding a parking spot can feel just as good as receiving a $100 bill from your grandparents on your birthday.
If we parked a vehicle ahead of schedule, like the night before on the street and paid for 24 hours, that would be a lot easier.
But that $100 bill could soon be handed right to the town if you find a parking meter ticket on your car during a special event, something Michelle and Ron believe is too steep of a fine.
I just think something that's got that stiff of a penalty for just you're 10 minutes late, you're 15 minutes late, that just seems outrageous.
On Monday, the Ocean City Council will discuss doubling parking meter fines during special events in town, which means if you pay for an hour of parking and lost track of time dancing at Ocean's Calling, the usual $50 fine would jump up to a $100 fine. Stephen Wright believes that price is fair for those not following the rules.
I do understand if people are not taking care of their parking obligations, there is a penalty to be had for this.
But others disagree.
Ocean City's come a long way in making it so user-friendly and great events and a fun place, the air show, all these great things. Why leave people on that sour note when you go to your car and you see you've been fined?
With different opinions on the possible change, one thing is for sure. Pay for parking in town or you could be receiving a ticket, whether it's $50 or $100. Now, if the council approves the first reading tonight, it'll then go to its second and final reading during a future council meeting. I'm Kevin Zappe, live in Ocean City, Coast TV News.
Ocean City Council made other changes during special events in town. One change doubled the fine for illegally parking in front of a fire hydrant during a special event, increasing it from $100 to $200. And parking rates in general also increased during special events, costing drivers an additional $1.50 compared to its standard parking rates. You're looking at water pipes connected to a Lewis cottage home in the Vineyards development off Route 9 in Lewis. One lady says she was left without water this weekend and property managers did not respond fast enough. Coast TV News reporter Brandon Ferguson is live in Lewis. Brandon, you saw water service trucks at different houses throughout the neighborhood today.
Charlie, these are the cottage homes that were left without water since Friday afternoon. One homeowner here tells us she immediately called for a fix, but did not see running water here until this morning. Seascape Property Management says both on Friday and Saturday, Tidewater Utilities were taking action, but homeowner Ann Stanton says this should have been fixed faster and is scared that this could happen again this winter.
Oh, I've been showering and running to the bathroom in other people's place. I mean, we brought in gallons and gallons of water. Some of my friends brought over buckets.
property management here say they acted as fast as they could, but Stanton says after her water was restored this morning, she was never given a reason on why it stopped in the first place, so she's scared that this could easily happen again. Live in Lewis, Brandon Ferguson, Coast TV News.
If you're planning on going to the beach in Lewis, this is what you're going to find. A frozen ocean and snow-covered beach. With powerful winds hitting the coast, more people opted to walk in the downtown area. One person who was braving the cold and walking their dog said today was more bearable, but they've been trying to find other ways to keep busy.
Lots of shopping, just getting out of the house, going to the outlets, grocery store, but you can't really do that much when it gets really cold and windy.
And it is Groundhog Day, and according to Phil, unfortunately, we've got 6 more weeks of winter, so don't pack up the sweaters just yet. And this brings us to our Coast TV poll. We want to know what's hardest about these cold days.
I was really hoping for something different from Puxatawny, Phil. But you know what? Here we are, and the hardest part, according to 56% of you, is staying active. 25% say they can't get warm, 6% say cold car, 13% say icy roads, sidewalks, all the above there.
All right, and if you want to go vote, it's pretty easy to do. Just go to coasttv.com or use our mobile app. Now let's take a live look into Lewis. A gorgeous picture there. Love to see that. It is looking cold, though, as we check in with Bob Trihey.
Good evening, Charlie. We finally break the freezing mark today. It took about a week to do that. 32 in Georgetown and Millsboro now. Still above freezing in Long Neck at 33 and Rehoboth at 33. Redden 35. So nice to see these slightly warmer temperatures, but we still have a northwesterly breeze around 6 to 12 miles per hour. Not as gusty as it was earlier today, but it's still sending wind chills down into the mid to upper 20s. These are much more bearable than they have been. As we're looking at clear skies, should be looking at fantastic conditions to see the full snow moon as we go through the evening hours. A few clouds, a few flurries back to our west, but we're going to keep it mainly clear this evening with temperatures falling through the 20s and maybe a few high clouds, and then those wind chill values much better, much improved. I'll have much more on some snow chances this week coming up a little bit later on.
Bob, thank you. Important update on the Back the Blue event honoring Delaware State Police Corporal Matthew Snook, who was shot and killed in December. Due to extreme cold and icy conditions at Hudson Fields, the Sussex event, you're seeing Newcastle footage here, the Sussex event is now going to be at the Georgetown DMV. That's where drivers get a memorial sticker for their car with Corporal Snook's name and end of watch. That is happening February 8th at the Georgetown DMV from 8:30 to 3, rain or shine, unless severe weather forces additional changes. And just like you're seeing here, it's a drive-through where people get that sticker for their car. Wicomico County says the Newland Park landfill is temporarily closing. This is after an investigative request from the Office of the State's Attorney. According to the county executive, the landfill will be closed Saturday the 7th through Monday the 9th. It's not just the landfill, it's also the convenience center and the brush pile. We're not sure what the investigation is about, but officials say there's no threat to public safety.
Neighbors in the Laurel School District will be heading to the polls next week to vote on a school referendum. If it's approved, it would mean a potential $14 a month increase for the average taxpayer. District officials say that the added revenue would help fund staff salaries, safety and security, transportation, and student services. That referendum is scheduled next Monday in the Laurel School District.
5 Cape Henlopen High School students and another child held a Monday morning walkout on Kings Highway over immigration enforcement. They carried protest signs and upside-down American flags and a pride flag as traffic passed. A social media post, which looked like an official school graphic, encouraged students to join a student body walkout as a protest. The Cape Henlopen District said they did not create the post and did not support or organize this protest. A significant part of the federal government is shut down today as Congress works through a long-term funding plan. This after the package was held up last week in the Senate over concerns around funding ICE following the killings of 2 American citizens in Minneapolis.
But it's expected to be brief, with the Speaker of the House saying over the weekend that he thinks that his chamber will vote on this bill by Tuesday. NBC's Monica Alba shows us what needs to be done in order for the government to reopen.
A new week in Washington and a new federal government shutdown. But House Speaker Mike Johnson indicates he thinks this one will be short-lived.
Well, let's say I'm confident that we'll do it at least by Tuesday.
The House needs to pass 5 spending bills and extend the deadline to fund the Department of Homeland Security by 2 weeks to get things reopened. The shutdown comes after scenes like this in Minnesota, where thousands of federal agents are conducting widespread immigration raids, and after the shooting deaths of Renee Good and Alex Preddy by federal officers. Democrats became steadfast reforms to ICE need to be made before they'll agree to a Homeland Security budget.
We need a robust path toward dramatic reform. The administration can't just talk the talk, they need to walk the walk. That should begin today, not in 2 weeks, today.
Democrats are demanding ICE agents stop roving immigration dragnets, stop wearing masks to cover their faces, and all have body cameras before they approve long-term DHS funding. In a new interview, President Trump said he'd end the surge in Minneapolis quickly if local officials agreed to one demand.
Well, we want one thing in Minnesota. We can get out of there really fast. We want their prisoners.
Some Democrats indicating even if their demands are met, their support isn't guaranteed.
What is going on in our country is a violation of the First, Second, and Fourth Amendments. I just, in good conscience, cannot vote to give more money to ICE agents as they're violating our constitutional rights.
If the House can't agree to a deal, funding for the Coast Guard, FEMA, and TSA could all be at risk. One immediate result stemming from this latest government shutdown, the jobs report. It would normally be released this Friday, but a spokesperson says because of the partial shutdown, that data will no longer come out on that day. Monica Alba, NBC News, Washington.
Growth on the coast is a big issue here. There's a lot of growing pains because here's a good problem, everybody wants to live here. But we've had a lot of issues, right, with roads, infrastructure, development, open space going away, and there's conflict and concern.
CoastTV News has investigated all the deep-seated issues that brought us to where we are today. And on February 4th, this week, 7 p.m., join us for a 1-hour special to help you understand the price of paradise, growth on the coast. More DMV scam text circulating, what you need to look out for.
Finally above the freezing mark today with a high of 33, our low of 18, but still below average temperatures. We're going to see warmer temperatures this week and a couple of chances of light snow. Minor systems, I'll have more on that coming up.
But first, underneath a car covered in salt, what you need to do to prevent further damage up next.
This is Coast TV News at 5.
With that recent snowstorm and lingering mess, crews were out brining the roads, but now that we're kind of in the clear for a little bit, this is how the underneath of many cars look, covered in salt. Robert Craner, the owner of Milton Auto Parts, warns what could happen if you don't clean that out quick enough.
The road salt, it's a brine, it's salt, so you have steel brake lines and you have, some cars have steel fuel lines, and you'll eventually have rusted out brake lines and you'll lose your brakes.
Craner says get a car wash that offers an undercarriage wash. That's incredibly important to make sure all that salt is gone. Coming up next, will we need more road salt? Well, Bob Trihey has our full forecast after this.
Well, it took about a week, but we finally cracked the freezing mark today in Georgetown. Can we get a round of applause? Yeah, 33 in Georgetown, 34 in Ocean City, 34 in Salisbury, 34 in Easton. But that ice and snow is basically bulletproof. It's going to take a long time and some warmer temperatures to really start melting it. As we're looking at a beautiful sunset on the Tyndall's Casual Furniture Cam, days are getting longer. This evening cold and clear and beautiful view of that full snow moon, now full, just a few minutes ago. Light winds, not bitter cold for a change. And then this week we've got a couple of clipper systems coming our way, giving us 2 chances of some light snow. Let's talk about that full snow moon, and it's beautiful. It's coming up this evening around 6:30, and it's not a super moon. It's the second full moon of the season. So looking forward to that this evening. It's going to be beautiful. Temperatures already sinking below freezing in a lot of places, 31 in Millsboro, but still at freezing in Georgetown, 32, 33 in Ocean City, 33 in Willards, as we still have a northwesterly wind. It was pretty breezy earlier, but not as bad now. And look at these feels-like temperatures. It's been a long time since we've seen feels-like temperatures in the 20s and 30s, and definitely a welcome change. As we're looking at clear skies right now, seeing a lot of white on the satellite picture. That's all that cold air reflecting back to space. As we're in this northwesterly flow, and we're going to see a series of clipper systems in this flow give us that chance of snow as we go through the week. week. You can see the chances not very high later Tuesday into early Wednesday, only 24% chance there. And then I think maybe a slightly better chance on Friday. So we'll have to see about that. But look at this snowpack. This is not surprising to see all the snow across the Northeast, but in the Carolinas, they got about 6 to 12 inches of snow. They got walloped by that storm. We really lucked out. And that snowpack extends all the way back into Georgia. And I don't know if you heard, but they had flurries in Tampa this past weekend. Not for us this evening. Futurecast mostly clear. Temperatures falling through the 20s. And then by tomorrow morning, we're into the teens and low 20s. And then I think we're above freezing a little more tomorrow, mid to upper 30s. Then that Clipper system moves in with clouds. And we're going to see some snow developing. And this is going to be a quick hitter. Late Tuesday into early Wednesday, probably a couple of hours of snow. And then by the time we go to work and school, it's gone. So maybe just brushing off a little bit off the windshield. And you can see we're just getting a coating, maybe a half an inch or so, a little less in some places, a little more in others. Nothing too significant. Then another one on Friday could be a little stronger. So another chance of some snow as we go into your Friday. 15 tonight, mostly clear and cold, lighter winds. 39 tomorrow, not as cold. And then that snow very early into Wednesday, 35. Paul Davis 7-day forecast. Colder Thursday. The Olympics start on Friday. We could have the Olympics here because of the snow and cold. Snow Friday. And then for the weekend, only mid-20s. Of course, we've got the Super Bowl on NBC. And then a little warmer as we head into Monday.
39 is going to feel balmy, Bob. Thank you. Well, the DMV says there's a new scam, and you can see it here. Fake messages claim people owe money for traffic or toll violations and say you got to pay by a specific deadline. Now, here's another one, too. They threaten suspension of car registration or driving privileges. The DMV says the messages are scammed, designed to steal money that can gain access and personal financial information. Don't click on anything if you get that message.
Always good advice. Don't forget, as Bob just mentioned, the Super Bowl airs right here on Coast TV Sunday, February 8th. Pregame starts at 1, kickoff at 6:30.
Coming up tonight on the Delmarva Sports Network, your game of the night, 5:15, Queen Anne's takes on North Carolina girls basketball. Then catch the final score at 10:30. Exclusively on DSN Plus, along with that game. At 4:30, it's probably still going on for just a little bit. Sussex Central at Laurel. Then 5:15, just started Concord at Sanford boys basketball. Then Chincoteague at the Salisbury School, also at 6.
Coming up, a new watch program in Seaford, how it can help people while they're away from home. Stay tuned on Coast TV News at 5.
Seaford Police is offering a new vacation watch program to people while they're away from home. Police say it allows anybody who lives in Seaford to ask officers to check on their homes when they're not there. They say those interested can visit Seaford Police's website to request the service, and then you get an automatic email when your home has been checked.
Attorneys for some victims of Jeffrey Epstein are asking federal judges to force the Justice Department to take down millions of documents that it recently posted online. The attorney says the DOJ failed to redact victim names and personal information, triggering what they called unfolding emergency. They said those mistakes have exposed nearly 100 survivors to harassment, threats, and renewed trauma. In a response to the judges on Monday, the DOJ says it has removed all the documents flagged by the victims' attorneys.
Here's a live look into Laurel. Still a lot of snow out there. One more check on the forecast coming up after the break.
A gorgeous full snow moon coming up in about an hour, and we're looking at clear skies, but bundle up as you view it because temperatures falling through the 20s into the teens, but you can see that feels like temperatures are right there with the actual temperature, so no big wind. That's always good. Congratulations to Tricia from Millsboro and winning a brand new umbrella from Paul Davis and Coast TV, and call the Coast TV First Alert weather phone. It's sponsored by Brockstead, Mandalis, Federico. Paul Davis 10-day forecast, 39 tomorrow. We're going to melt some more of that snow. And then we're looking at that Clipper system very early Wednesday, just a little coating into Wednesday morning. The rest of the day cloudy, 35, 32 on Thursday. And then as the Olympics kick off in Italy, close to home, 36, maybe a little more snow, and then very cold again into the weekend. But I think this is the last shot of really cold air. Mid-20s as we're all bundled up and warm watching the Super Bowl to Sunday evening. I really wish the Jets were there, but maybe someday in the next century. And then warming up into next week through the 30s and then into the 40s by Wednesday and Thursday, and maybe even warmer after that. So we've got some relief on the way.
I'm looking forward to it, Bob. Thank you. And thanks for joining us here for Coast TV News at 5.
The Jets, that's a big ask. For more news,
Okay.
more of our local weather, download our Coast TV News app.
From a Patriots fan, good luck Sunday. Inside Edition is up next.
And we'll see you later tonight for Coast TV News at 6.